Hello, everyone, and welcome to what is going to be a brand new YouTube exclusive series featuring City Skylines 2. We're going to be creating another city from scratch, and it'll be separate from the live stream on Twitch on Fridays. So that way, those of you that can't make the stream have something to look forward to during the week. I'm going to try and push out some episodes at least once a week, if not faster. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll just hop right into it. I'm Alpha Aries. If you're new here, welcome. Just get back into the swing of things, streaming and making YouTube. And so glad you're here. Hope you're having a good day, good evening, and we're gonna just jump right into it straight from the beginning. New game. I think we're gonna start with Waterway Pass, something different. Most of the maps I've been playing on have had a lot more water and island type features. This one's just got a river up the middle, land on both sides, and looks like mountains on the edges, and it has 53% buildable area, which I think is the largest outside of Tampere as far as building goes. So we'll go there, see how it goes. We also have all the connections. Looks like we have a little bit of all the resources, so until we get mods, that's kind of important. So yeah, we'll just start with Waterway Pass. Hop right into it. We're going to do North American. I'm going to turn natural disasters off simply for the sake of this series. You know what? No, we're not. We're going to turn them on. Screw it. If a tornado destroys our entire village, then so be it. And the city name for this one, I think we'll call this, call it Riverbend. Seems fitting with the river running straight down the street, right? So yeah, I've been really enjoying this game since it came out, despite its technical problems, and it does have a lot of technical performance issues, which I'm sure you'll see as we get into it. So let's see what we start with here. We've got this little bit this side of the river, this little bit on that side of the river, and we can't see anything. We can't see our resources, so we don't really know where the farmland is. I'm hoping that it's not right here, because that's where a lot of our initial cities are going to be. We can look at the wind direction, which is important. It's blowing north, so we're going to want our industry that way, which means it looks like we might have to set our industry up over on this side of the water. Maybe we don't have a lot of space here. This is a weird starting tile. We might wait to build industry until we level up and can buy some tiles further this way. That might be what we have to do. Then our water flow direction is, you can kind of see which way the river's going, so that's pretty cool. I wonder what's going on here. We have like this weird airplane. Oh, and my game is crashing. Oh, this is great. What a great start to the series. Cool. Oh, nope, it didn't crash. It came back. What's going on? Trying to look at this little space, and then the game like exploded. All right, so anywho, I think we'll just start with some residential initial layout stuff going on here. I would like to put the key walls around here, but it's such a finicky process. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Let's just hop right into it. Take a the initial 4-lane road, run this. I don't want to just do grids because it does look a bit bland, so I think we'll start straight, and then we'll start making some corners here. We can turn on contours, and as you can see, this isn't flat, even though it kind of looked like it. But we can kind of curve our road here to match a little bit of the terrain. Do something like that. And then we can start working on building some residential areas. I think it'd be kind of cool to start. I don't really want to start along the river because that's very limited, and we're gonna also have to build a bridge here at some point. We'll just start going in with our basic 2-lane road here. And again, trying not really to create grids, but they do seem to work the best. Although, one of my issues with this game is the zoning grids break way too easy and are really finicky. Like, you could place some kind of pedestrian path and it'll just like completely destroy your grids. You have to watch that when I think something this to start might be okay, and then neighborhood roads like And then I think as well, what do we have for air, like wind speed? Because we don't at all. I was wondering if we could use wind turbines. Well, we do right here, actually. Right here by this little lake, we've got close to 4.3 right here. Almost a 5 right here out of the possible 5. I mean, I guess we could have like a wind farm like right on this little lake. I've not used these yet, so maybe we'll do that. We'll set up some of these wind turbines. Just see how this goes. Not sure how many we're gonna need, but throw 3 down, and then they all need to be connected. We need a transformer station. I think we do. So let's get that in here. We'll have this come off the road, like we'll have like our own little dirt road right here. Connect that. Can I connect the? Like I said, I've not used these before, so we'll see how this works in the long term. Might be changing later on, but now we're connected to the outside, so we can import the excess, and maybe these will generate enough power back. Let's see, we got a nice little starting kind of neighborhood here. Like I said, I like to make. Some people love to just make grids, but I find they get kind of boring. So you just make like some weird shapes here and in there. We'll give some flair to your neighborhood. We also got to figure out our water situation. Do we have any aquifers? We do. I also want to use the water pumping station because every other city I've made, I've used the the groundwater pumping station. We also could do the water too. So its upkeep is really high. Wouldn't mind putting a groundwater pumping station. We also have one right here. What if we did this? I think we're still gonna have to have the little poop chute, call it, exit pipes for our wastewater on power. What? Not enough. Ah. None of this is connected to the network. I thought there was a way you could run underground. I'm sure there is. Well, shoot. I suppose we could just run the road that we were going to connect. So yeah, we want this. Probably looks better this. And let's make just so. And we don't. I can't change. We don't need a traffic light. Yeah, we'll go through and can. Yeah, so that should connect us to the network now through the. You look at your power. You can see it's flowing through the power cable. You have power now. You have electricity. Means we should be pumping in water. But I think we do need a sewage pump. Greatly reduces. You gotta watch these upgrades. They get really expensive sometimes. And a lot of your money is spent on the service. We do need a sewage pump. Sewage outlet. Until we can get our treatment plant. I guess we'll just run this over here. The way it'll flow out. And as soon as we can get rid of that, we will. I want to try to have a city that doesn't have pumps. Since our only water access is this river, I kind of want to keep it as clean as possible. We'll run that into our road network there. So now we have water intake, power, and sewage output. Let's get some of our residents. As you can see what I mean with the grids, it does weird things. Like this one can't be zoned off a beach for some reason. Puts the space here. But then on the other side it can. It's really strange. So one thing I want to do, until we get a mod, like making these almost like a poor man's cul-de-sac. But as you can see, you can't zone off of them. There'll be a mod that fixes that. That'll probably be one of the... I think we'll do 4x3 houses. And maybe a 4x... Keep it smaller. These can only be 3. We'll do these a bit. See, it just blocked off that? Or why? Strange, right? Like I said, the zoning in this game can be a bit weird. Yeah, I don't understand that. I actually don't really understand why it's... You know why? It's because this is actually zoned off of Woodland Street and not Beechwood, even though you can't tell. Probably the same thing that's here. This is zoning off of Beechwood and not Spring. Frustrating. You gotta watch your grids. Game do weird things. If you're wondering why I'm using smaller houses, I don't really want major, large-scale houses in here. I think this keeps the property value a little bit lower. So then maybe people complain about high rent. But we're still learning all these systems. What's going on with the monkey? All right. So that's building in. So we'll have our first few people moving in. We also need to figure out, I think like I said, we're going to wait till we level up a time or two to expand this way, get our industry in. Probably the way to do it. A lot of this, we don't have a whole lot of buildables. I do want to get houses along the river, but I want to put way walls. How are they? But it's such a finicky tool. Like, there's several videos out there on, like, how to do this properly. That's actually working. We might be able to make this work. The only issue, then, because you have to raise the road... Like, if I put this at 0, see how we don't get the wall? So you have to raise it, like, at least 2 steps to get the wall. Because then all the terrain behind it isn't level. So then you have to try to go in and level out your terrain editing and City Skylines. And I don't really know why. City Skylines 1, I don't remember having that. Did we run another road through? Yeah, it was on. What is going on? I don't want... You have to bear with me, I'm still getting used to the newer control, or the newer options in City Skylines are different. So which way is this zoning off of? We don't know. It's like zone roulette. I wonder if we can force it this way. See how that's not building? So it's not zoned off of wall. Yeah. We'll make that a bigger house then, just to fill the space. And then something I found that I like to do, this game actually does a pretty cool job of, is having like little corner stores. So little dabs of commercial in your residential area, but you don't want to do like, you know, some huge block. You do like a 2x2 or even like a 3x3, And the game actually does a really good job of making like little convenience stores or gas stations, something that you would find in an area like this, which is pretty cool. And it also helps give you that little bit of commercial demand that you're needing. And I think the game, like in City Skylines 1, you would make huge like commercial areas. In this game, if you do that, they start fighting over customers, I think. Either that or it's a bug. But I've noticed in areas where I have like 4 or 5 commercial buildings in a row, they run into the customer problem more so than if you spread them out. So maybe that's a thing. I don't really know for sure. But we'll put some shops on the corners here behind our resident. See how that develops. Leave some space there. Yeah, I wish you could zone off of these. It would be really cool. Really good. One's moving in. We mess with the wall of the coastal thing here? We should. What do our... That's why it's advised to flatten it first before you make the walls, but I am really bad at terraforming in this game. I'm scared to do it right now because I'll mess it up. Maybe we'll just leave it naturally and you have like a nice peaceful river. I really just I'm tired of dealing with those walls. Let's just make a little nice pedestrian street that kind of follows coast here. Zone off of it. See what happens. I don't want to go too far because we're going to run into sewage. Something like that. Then we can connect it. Hey, tiny village, nice. We get $600,000, one perk, if you want to call it, unlock, and then 3 tile purchase. And we've also unlocked city budgets, city stats, medium density row houses, which are cool. A few extra roads, healthcare, death care, garbage management, and a loan limit, which you really don't have to take out a loan in this game unless you just really, really mess up because of the way the game... One, it throws money at you when you level up. And 2, you actually get... See it in these government subsidies. If you're doing really bad, that actually will increase to kind of keep you afloat. So I've yet to bankrupt myself. I'm sure some people have, but I feel like you have to really mismanage your city to do that. Not saying it's impossible, but I have yet to do it myself, which means I'll probably do it in this playthrough. Let's give a couple little connector roads here, and I also like to put the roundabout here. They just look... I think they look neat. And then maybe we can run... Keep that view, like that kind of symmetrical. And... view down. And then we branch off both directions. So... And we can run another connection here. Go in and get... Do we want one in the middle? Do we want one here, or should we leave that? I kind of like that one as it is, and then have the roundabout. Here we go. That might actually end up looking pretty cool. Find out. We need to unlock our tiles for our industry. We still can't see our natural resources. So, don't want to get too crazy, because I have a feeling we're going to build right on top of something important. This whole area, that's just... And I think our wind was blowing that way. So, ideally, we want to keep our industry in a section where air pollution isn't going to blow back on the city. So like along here would be a good spot for industry, as long as we don't put residential right back behind it. Maybe that's what we'll do. Let's go ahead and get... I don't think I can get that far though. Get close. We also are going to have to build a bridge across. So maybe it's in our best interest to go this. And not sure how we want to do this. We don't have a lot of room. If we keep going this way, we can continue along the river. We are going to need our industry. Maybe we can make this whole peninsula like an industry. Be kind of cool. Like, so you cross the bridge into the industrial sector. Maybe that's what we'll do. So we'll grab that tile. I really don't want to buy this tile just for that. Buy this tile, and then we'll wait. See what we need to do. Let's get a bridge across. And for bridges, we're going to need a bigger road connection. Where do we want to cross it? Because what I'll do is once we get our industry zone here, I'm going to move the sewage pipe across. That way it's not blocking our planned residential here. I also don't want a huge bridge going straight through our residential area. Although, that would be kind of neat if we had the bridge elevated and had this road go under it. Looking. Should we try it? All we have, excuse me, is a couple 2-lane bridges, a wooden covered bridge, which that just looks weird for crossing a river of this size. Then our truss arch bridge. Then we have 4-lane bridge like this, which is probably what we're going to want to do if this is our main artery into our industry. I feel like right here is the best place to do this. But then we don't have a lot of room, so we might need this tile here. Unless we build it this way. So what we want to do is we have the high piece of land, like elevation here. We want to match that on the other side for a bridge. So go to our terrain tools, level terrain, right click here to grab that height, and go to where we want the bridge to connect, and draw a little area there. And I think we're going to take our 4-lane bridge like this, so it's not, game is not happy. Elevation 30. Matter unless it's really that low. So my advice was maybe we can get away with 15? And do 15. So why can't we just drag this? Well, that one section, yeah, it's going to make us put some kind of elevation. Or did I just not go back far? No, we definitely have to have an elevation. Can we get away with 1.5? What is it doing over here? It's making some weird midget bridge. What is going on over there? I don't get that. Okay, it's working this way. Alright, there we go. I think this is what we'll have to do. We have to go back in and fix this later. Dang it, I do this, I swear, this needs to be a drinking game. Every time I go to build a road, and I have the wrong tool mode selected, you gotta take a drink. Because I do this all the time. We got the bridge in. I really didn't have to do all that. What I mean, though, I'm terrible at terrain edit. And this is gonna be a pretty, I wonder if I can ramp up to that intersection. See. Might work. Might work. We shall see. Get back off of that, and we want to follow the terrains. Bendy. I wanted to. Honestly, straight just right there, and then curve it. Still getting used to these tools as well. I know there's a lot of people that are a lot better than me with these, and they're probably like, oh my god, you're terrible. Okay, so that works. And then we can come back in and soften this out. So, jarring. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting how it did the bridge. It just was not playing nice over here. Back this. Did it again with the wrong tool. But now we've got our connection. And then we can run almost a straight line to form the main artery road of our industry. Do here. Let's try to make a curve, maybe. How's that go? Looks a straight up the hill. We're on a straight hill here. We'll go right to that ridge. And now for the city side, we might want to put those. That might look. All right, let's see how much of a pain in the butt this. So you see how like it's a wall and then it's not. I think you might be able to make this work. I just don't know how the terrain's gonna. That's a pretty gnarly. I wonder if we should try to level this out. This is where I'm gonna absolutely destroy. We grab it right here. Push that out to the edge. Sure, there's a better way to do this. Probably terrible. That we could have a. We could have the little dirt road go down the hill and have our sewage pipe down there. That might. Let's see what happens. Take you back to the if we zone. This might actually work. We want to get our elevation as close to 0 as we can. You see the little slope triangle? Every time we make a section, we want that to be like 0.1, 0.2, or 0 if we can get it. Because that means your road's not bending up and down, and we want to try and keep this as level as possible. I also want to make sure we're keeping the wall texture. That way we can go back, and when we move the terrain, we can keep way wall or key wall. Also having to fight with mapping. That's actually going to turn off the wall. Oh, we can just fix that later. Get that. You see how it didn't do the wall right here? So we'll come back in and delete that. We've got that same issue. We want to delete that section. Back with code. We'll probably have to do is knock the terrain back a little. We just did it again with the road thing. So you see how it kept the wall that time? So we'll go back and do the same thing. That was the wrong tool. Soften just a little bit. Should fix it. Oh, still being grumpy. Now, is that nice? Oh. More? Oh, there it was. I had it. Had it for a second. Ah, there it is. Nice. Then what you can do is you come back in with the terrain tool, flatten this out along the wall, and you'll get water up to the edge. So we'll have that nice little effect there. And I think for the most part, that actually ended up pretty zonable. I was going to put a road here anyway, so that's actually... It worked out pretty well. I did it again. If you're following at home and drinking every time I do this, you're probably on the floor by now. Doesn't have to be 90 degrees. Doesn't. It's actually a little bit better if you do curve things up a little. And really, you're gonna grump about that now. That's fine. Okay. I was gonna put the little roundabout at the end. That is okay. All right, so we've got the beginnings of our industry area. Yeah. 90 degrees, and we'll kind of start sloping down the hill there. Do want to, because we're not going to be able to level this unless we delete our bridge and level it all the way around. And you could, might look better in the long. That's a project for another day. I know some people just delete and rezone and do stuff non-stop, but I feel it's a little unrealistic sometimes. But it's just me. But here's one of the glitches or performance bugs that's been plaguing the game. You can see the shadows. Maybe it's not coming through on. Yeah, it is on video. You can see a scrolling shadow flicker. It's really weird. Then, like, depending on which way you turn the camera, your tree shadows will look really strange. The game just has a lot of optimization issues that could have been better. Supposedly they're working on it, so we'll see. Autosave there. Quick note, autosave is actually disabled by default, so if you're starting a new city along with me or just picking up the game for the first time, make sure you do go under options, right there under general. This is actually off by default, so turn that on and you can set your intervals. I do wish there was a 15-minute instead of 10 to 30. 10 is almost too often for me, and then 30 sometimes if your game crashes at 29 minutes, that's a lot of progress. I do wish there was an option kind of in between there. Alright, let's get some more homes along this river. I want to see how this looks. We did unlock the row housing, which would be kind of cool if we did row houses facing the river, and then maybe we could get some, like, one-story property along the river, so, like, the row houses are looking over it. Maybe we can make that work. Try it. So let's do some row houses. We are under the North American. You can switch between the two, European, North American, which is really cool. So let's do North American row houses. Why? What's happening with our... That's really awesome. We're just gonna dig out a trench. Houses. We'll see how this looks. We may have to do some... Oh, here's our commercial. You see what I mean? It built like a little office on the corner there. And then this is a gas station. So stuff like that. You do those small little commercial areas, they actually zone in pretty good. We do... And, I keep saying and. My first YouTube 3 years. We've unlocked healthcare, death care, and garbage management, but unlike City Skylines 1, you don't have to place them right away, and it's actually in your best interest if you don't. Because of the cost of these buildings. $105,000 a month for the medical clinic, and $30,000 a month for just the landfill. $55,000 a month for the cemetery. These are very expensive, and you don't have to place them right away, because your outside city connections will actually fulfill those needs for you until your city's big enough for you to warrant building one yourself. So don't feel like because you've unlocked it, you have to place it right away like you kind of did in City Skylines 1 where everyone would start complaining. That doesn't happen in this game because of how expensive they are and how much they are to maintain. So again, don't feel pressured to build it just because you unlocked it. Don't fall into that trap where you might bankrupt you. Alright, so we actually don't have any more residential demand, we just have industrial. Let's go ahead and get some of this industry started here then. I think we'll just start zoning right here along the river walk here. I'm just going to go ahead and make the... That work. Some more roads in here. Oh, yeah. So when you build, so your roads will automatically have water, sewage, power running through them. Your bridges do not. So as you can see, we don't have a connection, so you're gonna have to build your pipes. I just run them underneath and just kind of role play it that they're attached alongside of the bridge. I do have trouble getting this to snap. I think that connected. Yeah, so that's connected. So now we've got water and power. But don't forget that if you're building a bridge for a connection, you got to manually run your. Don't forget. Let's get another road in along backside. Do something. Curve it up. Same thing going this way. There's actually a pretty big bug right now with the industries where your industrial goods aren't being delivered to your industries. Like say you had a harbor, or you were producing, I don't know, cotton, and you had a whole bunch of industries that needed cotton. Even though you have it in your warehouse or your harbor or whatever depot, your city will still import it to them for some reason instead of them using it. It's really weird. Developers have said it's a bug. There was that whole debate about like industries being faked and whatnot, but they did come out and say. Hopefully that gets patched pretty soon. Now it's nighttime, so I can't see where I'm trying to build. I know a lot of people disable the day-night cycles, but I find it, I don't know, it's a bit more immersive when you actually have the day-night time. Gives you a chance to kind of go back in the city. We also never spent our first unlock, which we need to. Typically, the first one I go for is most always advanced road services, which lets you control your traffic lights right away, as well as gives you maintenance depot for roads. You don't have a whole lot of other options. You can get the roundabouts, which give you access to all the different size roundabouts. You can get a battery station. A crematorium. That's probably the second most popular. If you don't want to build a cemetery, you can just build a crematorium. And that's really it. That's the only things you have that only cost 1 point. So I kind of like the cemetery asset. It's a really big asset. So we're going to go with the road service. Which then I can mess with our traffic light that we don't necessarily need right away. You see you unlock the wrench road icon, and now I have access to all this here. So to get rid of a traffic light, click on traffic light, and then right-click. Traffic light gone. We don't need a traffic light right there. Right now we don't have nearly the traffic for it. Same thing goes in here. We'll probably come back and add these later on, but we just don't need them. I think do we have any more over here? Those are roundabouts. We got a traffic light here we don't need. Traffic light here we don't need. Pretty much just removing all the traffic lights until we actually have a volume that. I'll keep that one there because that's a pretty gnarly major. That one. Yeah. Not a bad start. We got you see a lot of people coming in, moving in. Did our row houses ever build? I think they did. Where were they? They were over here. Oh, they did start. Okay, so look at this. These are your row houses. These are what, 3 stories? Their view is going to be right into the industrial district. Enjoy the view. But I think if we put some 1 or 2, like, you know, just basic low resident or residential, what am I thinking? Low density in front of them, like limit the squares. I think that might look cool. I also don't want to run this into the water because. So what if we did 3x4s? Actually raising pain. Let's see how this looks. Also, this is a pedestrian street, so cars aren't going to be on here unless they're emergency view. This actually created, like, naturally created a ridge. I wonder if we couldn't run another row behind it and have like almost like terraced row housing. Might actually look pretty cool. And the fact that this is automatically doing that too, we might actually be able to build our key wall here. What I don't want is just a whole bunch of cars parked on the side of the road, so we may have to figure out the parking situation. This looks kind of cool. I wonder... I mean to click on zoning. What if we came in here? Because this will build a wall as well. I wonder if we can get this in here without breaking that grid. I did it again. I frickin' did it again. Take a shot. What if we just tuck that in right there? Did the same thing. Oh god, that is not what we wanted to do. Delete. Oh, you see I broke the grid. You know why? Is it because it tried to zone off this? What have I done? Dear God in heaven. It made a 1x1 instead of a 1x4, and so now we have this weird... That actually looks kind of neat. We'll have to come in here and fix the ones that are... Oh, I can't. Not gonna let me. Fantastic, so... Yeah, we're gonna delete. That's what we want. We want the... There we go. Have to manipulate it a little bit to get the full length, and it flattens that all out, so this will look... But if we can get these, like, terraced row houses along the riverfront, I think that'll look really cool. That'll be really neat. Neat! Alright. Yeah, we have a huge demand for the low-density house. As well as... Let's go ahead and see if we can get the rest of the row housing. Right here. We're not gonna have enough demand. This is gonna look really cool. Kind of excited now. Let's get some commercial. Where do we want the... We do need some larger commercial buildings. We just have these smaller ones scattered in. Maybe along the main road here? See what I mean with the terrain, though? We've got some wacky... Can't see it. We're gonna have fun dealing with this terrain, I think. I do feel like it's harder to navigate than City Skylines 1, the terrain. Maybe I'm just misremembering. But I feel like it was a lot easier in City Skylines 1 to get it to do what you want. But, like I said, maybe I'm... How's our industrial section? Pretty nice. Go ahead and get the... What do we want to zone this? We'll just go on. And then same thing over here. Maybe do some larger convenience stores, just kind of mixed in. Or I don't know what we're gonna put over here. It's kind of interesting. The game gave us a wooden bridge and a curvy little wooden road here. Dirt road. Let me put something up. Can we see our power production? Because I'm curious how well our wind turbines are holding up. Our city has a lot of... I think we might just go ahead and put some shops. Wow, that rain is... I know some people were at the beginning of the game, because the terrain editing is free. I feel like Paradox knew how wacky it was going to be. all your landscaping is free. So some people were just literally flattening the entire map at the start, which solves a lot of the terrain problems. But I feel like at the end, your end city just looks really, sorry, looks really inorganic or realistic. Really, I don't know. You tell me. Would you prefer more flat area, or do you not mind dealing with the terrain? Yeah, Riverbend's coming along. We've got a population 117 and increasing. I do wish they'd fix this and go back to how it used to be. You now have to hover over this arrow to see. They'd go back having that. It's like an extra step, like an unnecessary one. How did this look? We got, yes, we've got some single story, almost like lake or campsite type houses. Well, this looks perfect. Look at this guy. He's got like a play sandbox. Yeah. Overlooking the river. Looks good. We want to zone in. Sizes. Different strokes. Really close. Should elevate. Or maybe a almost like its own little community, right? You've got little forest. This is a pretty big intersection. Yeah. Have all this space here. I don't know how we're gonna. Yeah, you can't see. We want to tuck this road under this bridge. This is gonna probably be reworked at some point. Let's see. Go ahead and speed up time. See if I can get us rest it back in. Most of our demand was actually met. We just gotta let the game kind of catch up a little. Like we got a pretty good start here, though. Our industry across the river, solar, God, wind turbines, ground pumping station. What is this doing? We're outputting 20 million gallons. 104% efficiency, though. It's good because our employees are happy. What can we add? An extra pump that basically gives us more intake and capacity. And this actually improves. That might actually be worth adding. I think we're gonna go ahead and just. You gotta be careful with some of the upgrades, because like the service buildings themselves, some of those upgrades are really expensive to maintain. Just keep an eye on that when you're building. I think we can probably get. You're not gonna behave. Gotta build it slow increments here. Dang it! Damn it, Bobby! Can I edit this terrain right here? Is that gonna be... Did I not zone that long enough? I didn't. The big bad. Just real quick, we're gonna fix this. Sorry everybody that just moved in there here. Do that. Let's see if that fixes it. There we go. Can we get? Come on, give me 2 more. Beautiful. And now I think we can get this road in. I can snap to. There, What the wall is possible. There we go. So now we can then, when we get more, we already have, heck, already full again. We can get a whole nother row, set of row houses. Also got to get all the way this. Beautiful. We should be able to do this with the road. Right. Station. Money. And then some of this terrain jankiness will be hidden by. See how he's waiting for a hearse? We don't have any, but they'll come from out of town to pick up the body. As macabre as that sounds. They will. Trying to wait to get it to daylight so we can get an overview of our city, and that'll probably be a good stopping point for episode 1, I think. Approaching an hour already. Time flies. It really does. Not because I have it on. Sorry. We've got back down. Got a good outline for our initial residential. We're up to almost 300 citizens already. We've got all this ready to be zoned for low density, and our row house situation, which I think is going to look really cool. Our industry is laid out and ready to go. We're actually really close to hitting Tiny Village. Maybe I'll get us to Tiny Village, and then let's run row houses. Just maximize this. You know what? Screw it. Let's see what it looks like. I think this is going to look really cool. I've said that before. We also need more commercial. We want to put that. This is our main entrance into town. I don't want to put too much on the main street because it's going to backlog with traffic. Maybe right here would be a good spot we can run like a huge block of commercial shops. And then when we unlock parking, we'll be able to put a parking on either side of that maybe, and then prohibit parking on the street, which the only way to do that right now is to decorate the road with trees. I don't know why they don't have a no parking policy or anything like that. It's really strange. Hopefully that's all coming soon. Say that about a lot of things in the game, but I do love it. The features and gameplay mechanics are here for an absolutely incredible game. They just got to optimize it and get some of the not quite missing, but some of the needed features in, and we'll be well on our way. These staggered row houses are going to look really cool. Go ahead and see if we can touch up this while we're here. You see how you just take the terrain up to the wall, and it clears it away to reveal your nice. Like, why they made it this is how you have to do it, I don't know. Like, what was wrong with the system in City Skylines 1 where you just built them and it auto leveled the terrain behind them? Like, that was perfect. I don't know why you gotta do it this way, but here we are. Like, once you get the hang of this, it's not terrible. It's just a whole lot of extra steps for something that used to be really simple. But that's what I mean. That looks a lot better. It looks really cool. So yeah. While we're waiting for stuff to fill in, let's get some decorating. Get some trees in here. What kind of trees should we do? Pine, spruce, birch, oak. If you switch to Europe, you can get poplar trees and chestnut trees to go along with alder trees and some of the other. I feel like oak trees are the bigger trees. They need the biggest amount of space. I don't know how. We want to grow this in a little bit so it doesn't look just. What is that? Oh my god. Game had a seizure. I think we'll just do spruce trees. We'll just come in and paint them in here. kind of fill some gaps. That way the trees can start growing. The trees have to grow in this game. You can't just plant them fully grown because of the way the industry. What kind of bushes? Flower bushes? Flower bushes. This will kind of grow in, look a little bit better after a while, so we don't have just this big empty space. Again, we're really close to Tiny Village. Do you have anything we can build that'll get this thing? Outside of just popping roads. We do for suppose we could go ahead and build. Do we want to connect this down at the end? I think. Go ahead and give one that way. Okay. On the other side, we'll kind of do. Something like that, and then we can run. Look at the sun come up. Oh lord, my retinas. There's some of the weird shadow texture. It gets really strange. See the flickering? Really hope they fix that. I'm like, what is going on there? I have no idea. They could just optimize this. Be fine. Like we're not having a frame rate problem. The game's running great frame wise. Just get these weird graphical things. Go ahead and zone in some more. Fill in. And again, we have really, really high commercial. Even after we built the here. Let's give these guys kind of the parking on here. We have got to get a parking lot or something. Maybe that's what we'll put here. We'll put a like a large parking lot right here. A parking lot here, and then that way they can all just walk. Maybe we can put one on either side. I do feel like we need some more. What if we did something? God, I did it again. Take a shot. Come in. Oh, they gave us a really awful grid. Wish it would show you like what it's gonna do to the grid before you place the road. So what I wanted to do was just build like a little offshoot road here and put some shops on it, almost like a mini shopping mall or shopping center. But it made the like the worst grid I've ever seen. Yeah, yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely awful. If we go this way. So that's a little better. At least we can get shops. No, I'm not liking that at all. How about part of it, I think, is the contour. Again. There we go. Hey, small village. Nice. So you see what I mean? $700,000, two more, English. Two more unlocked tokens, and then 4 more tiles. And then we've unlocked some medium density housing, access to taxes, education, elementary school, and high school. Very well. and that's where we wanted to get to. So I think I'll go ahead and manually save here. Riverbend. Yeah, Riverbend. We're gonna name it YouTube City. That way I can keep track of what's going on. So we've got our stream city, and then a couple I've been messing with off camera just to try to learn the game. Save there. And I think that's a good spot to stop episode 1, right at an hour. So beautiful. So thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm going to try and get at least one of these up a week. I'm thinking every Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. Somewhere in there we'll get them out. And if I get the hang of this and start churning them out quicker than that, I definitely will. So make sure I can't say it. I can't. It drives me nuts. Screw it. Make sure you subscribe for all the future. I can't even finish it. Nope. I can't do it. You know what to do. If you like it, you'll be back. If not, I'm sorry. But feel free to leave a comment. And, yeah, stop by the stream every Friday night with our Stream City. I still need a name for it, so hit me up for that. But anywho, thank you for hanging out. Have a great time. We'll see you at episode 2.